Okay, good morning. This week, guys, we are on Fowler Gilbert Works, but before we get on to it, hit subscribe. Come on, new subscribers out there. I know you need to hit that button and hit the bell for the notifications of every Sunday morning at 8:30, except last Sunday morning because we had to put it on later because there was a power cut and we had no internet access. So apologies about that for the video being late, but ultimately we did get it on at the back end of Sunday. So Fowler & Gilbert business, and a little bit of an embarrassing week this week for two reasons. One, we're going to end up showing you a little bit of our shit corner of the yard where we store all of our crap that everybody has one somewhere, whether it be the back end of a cupboard in an office or in your own home, but ours is a little bit bigger than most. And the other reason is that when we built our factory here at Fowler & Gilbert, we did something slightly different with the doors, and that has now bitten us on the arse. Let's turn around. So, when we built our factory here, we had a door company that we regularly used at the time, and when we started looking at the entire build cost, everything was tight money-wise. So what we did is we went out to the marketplace again and we got some more prices in for all of our roller shutter doors. We went with a firm, I'm not going to mention who they are, but we went with a firm. We only have ever used them for this job. We weren't happy with the quality of the doors and we weren't happy with the service that we received when we did it. So therefore we have never continued that with any of our normal customers' doors that we do. Unfortunately for us, that has now bitten us on the arse because we're on the back end of Storm Darragh and that has caused us some issues here. So we've had this mini hurricane that's whipped through and we've received the tail end of it, and ultimately it has blown not just one but two of our doors in. This is the result, and basically the arrangement of a door is, or a roller shutter door, is on either side, on each post you have two channels, and this here is what's called the curtain. And these are lots of individual laths that basically slide together, everything's bolted together, and then down the side of here, this side of it sits in that track, and it rolls up at the top and rolls back down inside these guides. What has happened ultimately is as the wind has blown, it has effectively bent the door in to such a point that it is pulled out of the runners on the side and therefore completely ruined the door. So this door now for us is a complete write-off and we've got to have a brand new door. So that's a little bit embarrassing given that we do this for a living, but what I will say is we made the error when we built the place because we went for a cheaper door, because ultimately, as you can imagine, setting up our factory here was a monstrous cost and every single penny counted. So unfortunately for us, that has bitten us on the arse because the same old story, you buy cheap, you buy twice, and that is us right now. So what we've had to do in the meantime, we've stuck a couple of packs of timber here, basically while we're waiting for our door firm now to come out. They're going to have to remove this door. Basically, that's just a pile of scrap. We'll get rid of that, and this will be replaced with a proper door fit for purpose. Now, fit for purpose is quite a difficult one because in these storms, the doors are basically rated to a point, but when we get these particularly bad storms, the doors aren't necessarily rated to cope with that high wind loading at that point. Now that sounds daft, but if every door was priced to be built to cope with the level of these wind loadings of these irregular storms, no one would ever want to buy a door because they'd be $3 or $4 grand more per door. So unfortunately there is a limit in which, for a British standard, they rate the doors to. And these freak storms that we're getting, like Darragh and before Bert and Eunice and all the other big ones that we've had, unfortunately, they are exceeding that. So for us, it's not covered under warranty, unfortunately. We've just got to replace this now and pay for a brand new one. I'm hoping the door at the other end, with some bits and bobs of repair work, we can repair that one and not have to spend a whole chunk of money on a brand spanking new door. Let's go down there. One thing I would like to add though, and I am super impressed with this, is the little bits and bobs of fancy engineering that we've done when we built this place, which is like the canopy that we've got there for storing raw material before painting or after it's been painted, which basically that there, as you can see, is just a ginormous sail, no different than what this building is here. Okay, we've got a door on this end of the building, but the far end is completely open at 100 foot in width by 20 feet tall. Now, effectively, that from a wind loading point is really, really difficult to cover because it is just a ginormous sail. The wind comes in and it's like blowing into a balloon. So the fact that we have had no damages, and I know I may be tempting fate here, but touch wood, we have had no damages whatsoever on any of the main structures of the building, any of the roofs, any of the purlins, any of the side cladding, anything at all. I think we've done really well there, which then obviously brings me back to a design point of view, and I am a genius. So another reason that I'm an absolute genius is because I managed to get Trent to increase the stock volume that we have of Swiss Pearl's roofing material, and it's a good job I did, because we have had roofing material flying out of here left, right and centre this week. We've been manic busy on a Trent perspective with selling fibre cement, because there are a number of buildings out there, and not one of them, touch wood, not tempting fate, is ours, but existing buildings that have got roof repairs that need doing. Complete roofs that have blown off, or roof lights is a classic example, because what I was just saying about a building acting as a sail or a balloon that you're blowing all that air into, on an older building what you'll find is the roof lights, the weakest point of the roof on a fibre cement building, as they get older they get more brittle. You can only blow up so far until that balloon pops, and when that balloon pops, it's normally the roof lights that blow out because they're the weakest point, and that lets the air out that you are blowing in to that balloon. So like I say, from Trent's perspective, we've been mad busy this week. If you have not had your repairs done, we have an abundance of stock. As you can see, we managed to get a load of material in, which we were worried we were going to get, because it's that time of year really where everything starts slowing down, nobody wants to provide stock, but we managed to get it in. So there's a mountain of material here if you are needing roof repairs. Give us a ring. Okay, so that's enough on Storm Darragh and previously Storm Bert, the mighty Bert. But let's nip up the road. The concreting has now been finished on that local project, so we'll nip up the road, have a look at that before you get your tranquil music and your next room of the house. So when we were last here, we would just got the bits of concreting to finish. They are now done. Spin round. So if you remember the last time we were here, this concrete yard here was the bit that was all broke up. We got to put a new drain in the middle, and we got to re-concrete everything and finish it all back too. That's now all done. We've just got to literally finish along here now where we're connecting to the edge of the farm track, and that is completely finished here. So the idea is, like I said before, we have put a new big sediment trap here. There was one originally, but it was in the wrong place. All the levels were wrong and everything was broken up. So we've ripped all that out, all that material has gone, and now we've put a new sediment trap here. We've connected that through to that main drainage running across the front of our new cubicle building, and that is all connected up and working a treat. This has now been opened back up again for the milk tanker. We had to get the milk tanker to come in ultimately just the other side of that hedgerow and run the pipe round and into the dairy in the short term, but now this is opened back up again. So like I say, we've just got to finally tart them little bits up there, and that's this area finished. Have a look. So like I say, the drainage from there connects up into the chamber that we've got here, and that then runs across the front of our barn. Now this area here, again, we're just collecting clean water here because there's no cattle that come out of this end of the building, and therefore we've sloped away from the building, we've connected up to that existing yard. We're a little bit steep at the far end, but that was ultimately what we got to work with because we couldn't replace, or the customer didn't want that concrete area there replacing at the front of the existing brick building. So that's all connected in and through. We've got the chamber at the end there, which we've just got a little bit more concrete to put round, and all the downpipes from this side and from that side are now all connected in, and that water is heading off down to the main watercourse. So building itself, like you've seen last time, is finished and is now operational. We've got cows in there, we've got the parlour is up and running, so all of that is working, and everything here for us, bar that chamber, is completely done. So that is it for us here on the local job. That's not the local job that we've been to in the past, but it is still, however, a local job. We're going to reveal that next room in the house, but before we do, you should have done it already, but hit subscribe, ring the bell, and let's leave you with a recap of this local job from the very start to the fancy finished product. Boom.